what is poppin'? Today we are going to be doing something kind of a little cool, kind of a little experimental, kind of just to see where this goes. Today I'm going to be doing some extreme face tuning slash makeup editing. So here we have what the makeup looks like right now. It's kind of just a standard like espresso type of looking warm, you know, a little eyeshadow natural moment. I'm going to leave a screen recording on the screen right here so you guys can watch my fingers and see what they're doing, but then you guys can also see the screen recording obviously a little bit more clear. We're on the desk, we're ready to go, we're ready to get started, do some extreme makeup editing. This is kind of just to have some fun and I guess prove to you guys that whatever you see on Instagram might not be the actual reality. A lot of makeup on Instagram is heavily face-tuned and edited, and that too, it's just like enhancing the actual like eyeshadow. Over here we're going on with a whole nother eyeshadow look, so it's kind of just to show that if you're feeling low, or if you don't think that your makeup is as good as those Instagram ones, of course keep practicing, you will get better, but it might not be the actual reality either, because stuff is heavily edited on Instagram these days. I hate to break it to you, but it's just how it is. So without further ado, let's get on into the video and see what we come up with. Okay, so the first thing that I think we should do is transform the brows. The brows kind of just look, well, I guess normal slash average, or, you know, they just look like my normal brows. But of course, everything on Instagram, including brows, is like crazy sharp, you know, it's really out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the tones. I'm going to hit picker. I'm going to pick the color, well, okay, I'm just gonna pick the darkest spot. I'm going to pick the color, go and press palette once again, and kind of just slowly feather in the color in my brow. I like it to look as natural as possible, but if you want to get that more sharp slash bolder look, you definitely can go for that. So I'm going to just fill in the brows slowly until they are dark and bushy, like literally every single Instagram brow out there. Now, if you guys see, that's what the difference looks like. Oh, by the way, this is a whole picture. I'm kind of just doing one eye because I'm too lazy to do the other one. 2020, still the same me, still the lazy same me, I guess. And as you can see, the color kind of fades out into the skin a little bit. Also, this picture is completely unfacetuned from the start, so I will be facetuning the skin and stuff a bit. So now I'm going to press erase and kind of just clean up around the edges of the brow where the brown might have gotten on the actual skin. And as you can see, that kind of just makes it look way cleaner. And then I'm going to press the check mark. Now I'm going to go back to tones. I'm going to press picker. Now this is one of my crazy tricks. Instead of pressing the smooth tool on the skin, it's going to look really face-tuned, but if you want it to look more natural, what I do is I take the picker tone, I pick up like any part of my skin tone, and I just smooth over the redness. So it kind of makes my skin tone all even. Oh my god, I'm really exposing one of my biggest secrets right now, without looking extra face-tuned or like smoothened, you know? Over there you see it's a little extra, so I'm going to erase that where it looks a little too dark, and then I'm going to go back to picker, pick up something a little lighter, and then run that over where it's a little bit more dark, so that everything kind of just matches up, you know? And I'm going to kind of keep doing that all around. Now you want to do the same thing on top of the brow. You want to literally slightly tap it and clean up over the brow so it looks extra sharp and extra nice. Just like that. And of course we're going to also smooth over a little bit over the skin so that it just looks a tiny bit less textured. So I'm really just tapping. I'm not actually like, you know, full on going and like rubbing it in, like I need that skin smooth. No, we do need that skin smooth, but we could still make it look a little natural. Alright, now onto the eye, now that we've done the brows and they look pretty Instagrammable to me, if I do say so for myself. We're going to go back to picker and tones. This is like definitely like the biggest part of it. I'm thinking since the lower lash line is green, maybe we could do like a blue cut crease. Oh, I'm literally just brainstorming on top of my head right now. I have no plan. I'm literally just showing you what I can come up with on the top of my brain. So we're going to go to palette, go towards, I don't know, I want to go towards a lighter blue. And I'm going to start laying that out on the crease. How I'm going to do that is I'm literally just going to tap, tap, tap over the crease. And you see it's kind of already turning it a little white and less brown. I think it's a little too white, so I'm going to make the blue a little darker. Yeah, more like muted type of blue. I'm going to start dragging that out and putting it over the crease, kind of bringing it into the greens so that it kind of all blends together a little later. Let me put my brightness up so that it doesn't look different. Do you guys also do that? It's like you edit a picture and it looks nice until you put your brightness up and you're like, oh shoot, there are so many faults within this. I should have put my brightness up. Alright, okay, now I got real off topic real quick. But now I'm just going to lightly feather it in. I'm not going to go too crazy on the inner part. I'm kind of just going to, you know, do that. And lightly feather it in. Now I'm going to press the erase tool and I'm just going to lightly erase the tops where I might have gotten a little too crazy. I'm just going to erase those parts so that it looks as natural as possible. I want kind of where I see too much color saturation. Kind of looks like we're using the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, which I don't own, so it's really cool. I can pretend I own it. No, I'm kidding. This isn't to catfish or anything. This is literally just for fun. Alright, now I'm going to check mark that. Now, this is what our difference looks like so far. Kind of cool if you ask me. Looking good. Alright, back to tones. Now we're going to start with a deeper blue. So I'm going to go back to the blue. I'm going to go kind of darker. Go for more, yeah, like this type of ocean blue. I'm going to start edging that out and winging it in. Of course, we're going to go with a darker blue, but right now I want it to look as natural as possible. So I'm really just taking that and feathering that in instead of actually going in with our darkest color. And if it looks a little messy, it's okay. You can always go back with the eraser tool and fix it up, you know? Alright, so just like that, and of course where I think it's overly saturated, I'm just going to go back, kind of look at it from afar, and I know that I kind of want that blue back there. I erased it too much. Zoom back out, and then zoom back in. And I'm going to go back to picker. I'm going to pick up the light blue shade we kind of had from before, and then kind of soften out the edges so that it all comes together. Alright, that's starting to look good. Now I'm going to check mark that. Now we're going to go back into tones. We're going to go back to, oh shoot, did I just do something? Oh, I'm going to exit out. I don't want that. Okay, now I'm going to go back into tones. I'm going to click on palette and then go to a deep blue. Right over here. Keep it like a navy one like that because I don't want it to be too bright, because if you do use too bright colors, I feel like it's way too obvious that it's Facetuned. Now I'm going to start off by the lower lash line. The reason why I'm not bringing it to the lid is because I do want to do like a cut crease, so I'm just going to leave that empty and go in there a little later. Now I think I have too much pigment there, so I'm just going to erase that and then start building it up once again. And then of course bringing it out to the outer edge. But I'm going to feather it out instead of, you know, really going in to make it look as natural as possible. And of course pulling that in a bit into the crease and then going back to the outer edge. Alright, so now that we have that, I'm going to go back into tones and I'm going to use picker. I'm going to pick the sparkle from my inner corner just because I want some sparkle going on for the cut crease. Hopefully that's picking up the sparkle and I'm not going crazy and putting that over. And now I'm going to go back to palette and then put it over the lid. Okay, so it's not really doing much of sparkle, but it's kind of just doing the cut crease. And now this is the part where I'm going to actually be swift and do an actual cut crease. Now it's going to look a little unrealistic right now, but I promise we're going to go back and fix it, and it's literally just like using concealer. Then you go over with the shade and you make sure it's all blended out. And then I'm kind of just going to soften over it but not do a full-on cut crease because this will be a like half cut crease. I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's like laying out our concealer, you know, right before. I'm just going to soften it out a bit. It's like laying down our concealer before going our main shade. I'm going to go back to palette and then resume going over with the tan shade. I'm just going to soften this out a bit, make sure the concealer blends in. Looks all blended and nice. Alright, great. Now we're going to go back into palette. I'm going to take a really bright like blue-ish color. And then I'm going to start going over it and lightly tapping and pretending that this is our metallic lid shade. Just tapping over it. Not doing anything too crazy. Erasing the parts that look a little too much, and I'm going to be repeating the process and going all over the lid. Alright, now I'm going to check mark that and then go back into tones. I'm going to go to pick up the blue once again. Start deepening that out. Kind of start off a little closer to the lash line and then start picking up the pace, going a little more. I'm deepening it just a bit, just for the outer edge. And then I'm going back with the lighter shade, feathering it out, and then lightly going into the crease, because we did lose some of that dark blue from before doing the cut crease. Going to erase some of that blue so that it looks more natural, as always. Same with the outer edge. And then I'm going to go back into the lighter shade of blue to kind of just blend everything out once again, as we did before. And like I said, just kind of touch, don't really drag. Let it just, you know, soften and do its thing. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everything looks a bit more natural and kind of deepen the blue. And I think we're going to go in with some fun red and maybe do an eyeliner. I don't know. I want to see what it comes and looks like at the end, because right now I'm not the biggest fan, but I have a feeling it's going to come together in the end. So now I'm just going to do those minor little touches like I said I would do. Alright, I'm going to start incorporating a little bit of red right a bit now. I don't want to do like full on red, but I want to do like, I don't know, maybe a little fun little sunset like red moment. Okay, probably not, but I'm going to go for kind of like a deep burgundy red, because I think that's what kind of matches this vibe. If I go on with like a full on bright red, I don't know how that's going to look with this look. So I'm really just kind of tapping it out. You know that, actually, let's make this a tiny bit brighter. Put this in. I feel like that's too light. Let's go a little more deep in burgundy. And I'm just gonna feather that out onto the edge. And then start bringing it into the crease. Kind of where our cut crease is. Like I said, don't worry about those huge spots. Kind of just use the eraser tool to erase that. Okay, so this ended up looking more brown than red, but I mean, it still works, still matches the vibe. I'm going to lightly erase over it once again, just on the edges, so that it blends in together. Kind of look at it from afar. Definitely think we need a little more over here. We'll just softly blend it out, and then of course with the erase tool once again, just softly blend out the edges. Okay, now I definitely want to start bringing the blue back in. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to pick up the blue. Right about that color. And then start blending that all out once again. Alright, now I'm going to go back and perfect the blue from the cut crease once again, and then I think we're going to go in with a liner. Alright, now I'm going to take tones and then kind of go in with a black liner. I'm just going to start off at the inner corner and then drag it out, and make sure to saturate it most at the lower lash line. I mean the higher lash line, you know, like the top lashes. Now I'm going to go to the details tool. I'm going to brighten the inner corner up a bit. I'm going to erase it just a bit because I think, oh wait, I'm going to erase it just a bit so it's not too bright. And go to details and then kind of bring out the detail in the eye and the lashes. Also kind of in the lid color so it looks more metallic. And then I'm going to go, hold on, I'm just going to blend out that blue over there because it looks a little... You know, of course you can go ahead and tweak here and there according to what you think looks best. Just so that everything flows better together. Let me erase that blue right there. I want to use picker and then kind of soften that out over there. Yep, that looks much better. And then I'm going to take that out. This looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is kind of make my eyes look a bit more poppy, a bit more brown. So of course with details, oh wait, that was too much. First with details first. And then I'm going to go back into tones. I'm going to take a light, like warm hazel-ish reddish brown. And then kind of just run that over. It's kind of just going to make your eyes pop out and look a little cooler. And now I'm going to take tones. I'm going to go in with a whitish color and kind of just make the inner corner pop out and be a little brighter. And then also run some on the brow bone. It's going to really make the difference between the brow bone and the eyeshadow pop out a bit. So I'm just going to use the eraser tool and kind of just erase it to where the eyeshadow kind of feathers out. And then of course back with the white just to intensify it just a bit. And then erase a little bit from the brow because you don't want it to cover your brow. And here we are. I think this is our final look. I do like it very much. I don't think it's my best work because, I don't know, you know, the camera kind of gives me a little pressure, but I do think from what we started, which is this, to this, there's a big difference and it looks pretty cool. And if you kind of like really zoom out, I don't know, it looks pretty realistic to me. And that's how these Instagram people get you. It's because all this stuff kind of looks pretty realistic. Obviously, there are better editors out there than me, clearly. But this is kind of just to show you that not everything you see is real. And as you can see, you know, it's not all, I guess, actual real life, you know, makeup. It could also be editing. Like, we literally took a brown, like, normal basic eye and we turned it into, like, a whole Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. You know, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so this video has dragged on for long enough. I have seen videos like this, but they kind of just let the music play and then kind of just do it themselves and never really explain what they're doing. So I thought this would be like a cool tutorial type of thing. This is the before and this is the after. You have the screen recording to see how it looks. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this with you guys. If you guys want to see a part 2, I could maybe do like another green look or purple look or something. I think that would be really cool. I like how I added the brown because I feel like everything looks a bit smoother together and it looks pretty cool. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you soon in my next one, and this was kind of fun. Alright, bye! Peace out!